And then you start actually unearthing, hey, has anybody ever read this? If you do a tabletop, is half the tabletop team opening this for the first time? Hey everybody, welcome back to cisolife. I'm Brian Hoagley, your host. Thanks for coming back. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into it. So one awesome thing I love hearing from clients about and inquisitive minds alike are, how do I get ready to handle incident response or perform incident response? And it's an interesting area, one that I love. Luckily get to teach it at Boston College. But what we want to do is we want to start from the top. And I think a lot of people just jump right in and what tech do I need? What do I need to lay down on endpoints? What's going on? Well, you need to start with policy. But hey, before we do that, smash that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Follow us on LinkedIn. And big shout out, thanks to SideChannel for the sponsorship. So we want to start with some type of policy. If I could write policy. Okay, and that policy is going to empower our teams to be able to go do what they need to go do. All right, you can't really start writing a plan or processes unless their policy actually empowers the people who are going to be running the policy. Is that your CISO? Is that your GC? Is that your HR department? Comms, right? Could be marketing, could be whomever, okay? You need to create the power for this team to be able to actually go do its job. And what's that policy going to do? It's going to allow you to craft an incident response plan. And this is exactly what this group is going to work on and use and hopefully read before you actually need to go do it. This IRP, or an incident response plan, this is what you follow. So your policy empowers the team, empowers the ability that the IRP, as you're going to build it, is going to have the power and the authority to go do what is needed by this team and their group. So you're going to have a legal team under GC, an HR team, a comms team, and obviously an InfoSec team underneath your CISO. So what does an IRP end up looking like? Well, it's going to outline who the team is, okay? What their roles are, what their responsibilities are, okay? This is very important. You need to clearly define inside of an incident and its response. You need to define who has what role. Do you have an incident commander? Do you have a group that has the authority to discuss when the incident, right? We're now left of boom, okay? Or we're now right of boom, sorry. When do we say that this is a breach? Okay, who makes that call? Okay, that needs to be outlined. Okay, you need to have some type of a matrix. Right, there's a lot that goes into this, and it's a great area that we like to work with clients. We fly in some accelerator documents and build these out based on who you have available, what resources, the culture, the thinking. What are you trying to protect? Okay, not every IRP is going to be built the exact same. So you want to be able to have your team, the roles, the responsibilities. Okay, you want to really key in on your communications group. Okay, what does the comms look like? Okay. This is super important. When do you make that call? Okay. Do you have a regulation that's sitting out there that's saying, hey, within 72 hours, 56, 48 hours, okay, you need to be notifying someone. Is it a regulator? Is it the SEC? Who is it? Okay. You need to be able to have that nailed down. If you don't have that internally, when do you want to be speaking to your customers, okay, your shareholders, right? Maybe the SEC because you're publicly traded, okay? Maybe it's a key vendor, okay? That's, an upstream or downstream problem for you. You need to determine where your communication is going to hit, when you need to do that communication, okay? So you got to address who, when, and obviously how are you communicating with them. The default is, we'll email them. Well, what if your email system is compromised? Do you want to let on to the attacker that that they're in there, that you're breached, that you're orchestrating a response? Probably not. So, this plan has to have some type of out-of-band comms It needs to have quite a bit, okay? And it's really interesting as you start building this out, what you learn about a client or your own company as what's needed and what's missing. And going through this process here really helps you define your team, your cybersecurity capabilities, really hone in on gaps that exist within this. A lot of people walk into this thinking, oh, we've got this in place. This is already all set. We're good. And then you start actually unearthing, hey, has anybody ever read this? If you do a tabletop, is half the tabletop team opening this for the first time? That's not going to be a good day if you have if all of a sudden you're right a boom. All right, folks. Anyway, some great areas to key in on. How many of you are doing this? Right? Comment down below. Let me know. How many have a policy that empowers a team, has an incident response plan that clearly articulates these things, and a host of other areas that you got to get into? I mean, data classification, thresholds of pain need to be determined, right? Who's actually going to, maybe reach out to customers? What are you going to offer them if there's an impact, right? When do you bring in your cyber insurance? There's so much more that goes into this, but again, just kind of a taste. If you're looking at this and you're watching this and you're going, wow, we don't have that policy. We sure haven't built that response. And I don't know who's on that team or who would actually do this. Well, let's talk, or at least start reaching into the community and start asking for help and start developing this. This is a great exercise. Anyway, I'm Brian Hoagley. Thanks for watching. You can follow me anywhere on Twitter at Brian Hoagley. On LinkedIn, you can just get there from brianhoagley.com. Follow us all around via hashtag #cisolife. Smash that subscribe button if you're on YouTube watching. Thanks everybody for being out there and following. This has been a great run. It's been a lot of fun doing these, and I look to continue doing more. So be good, be safe. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.